YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all those other good joints. It's Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. And I hope you all are doing well. It's Friday night. So let's go ahead and have us a little fun at the expense of the left, these Democrats, and so on and so forth. So first things first, hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on the other social media platforms. But you know, none of that matters if you can't hear me. So I need to know that you can hear me. So check one, breaker, 19. Can y'all hear me? Over and out. Okay, here. Okay, what's up, Don? Don's in the house. House. Somebody said, I hear the bell. Bing, bing, bing. Yeah, man, the Rocky bells, because it's about to get physical. So now, let me go ahead and get loose since y'all can hear me. Yeah. It's all the same. Real gold driller. Real gold driller. Real gold driller. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. That's right, y'all. And also, there's a Kevin's store in here, Kevin's Corner store. In fact, if you want to check it out, the link is below the video. You can get any type of merch you want. And there's a phone number here, 330-974-4607. You can text Kevin and text MAGA to that, and then I'll make sure that just in case they try to unexist me on the internets, you'll be able to find me. And I think that might be it. Oh, if you want to donate to the channel, you can. I have a Cash App and a PayPal link below all my videos. Now, with that being said, y'all saw the title. Yeah, y'all remember 1984? Some of y'all, I mean, my audience, I look at the demographics. Most of the folks who watch me, you know, I think it's somewhere between 25 and like up to 70 and beyond. That means a lot of folks can relate to the good old days. Y'all remember the good old days? Back in 1984, y'all remember how we were all concerned as we led towards, you know, the 90s and stuff like that. And remember Prince? I was dreaming when I wrote this. Forgive me if it goes astray. Dun, 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 dun. But when I woke up this morning, could have swore it was Judgment Day. Because 1999 was coming. The sky was all purple. There were people running everywhere. I tried to run from my destruction. You know I didn't even care. Man, in 1999 seems so far off. When Prince sang that, I'm thinking, 1990. Man, we gonna be flying around in cars. But we might be able to teleport by then. It was crazy. And the dances was great back in the 80s. Oh, man. And video games, most of the time you had to leave your house to go play. You'd have to go to the arcade, you know, dropping quarter after quarter. Some folks in the ghetto tried to get hit, you know, tie a string to the quarter, you know, jerry rigging the quarter, drilling holes in it, trying to drop it down, get extra, you know, credits and stuff like that. But we was out there having a good time. Dancing, that's what dancing was hard. All of that. Great times, man. Great times. We had no idea that when I was in maybe 8th or 9th grade and they start talking about read 1984 Orwell's book, I'm going, this stuff doesn't apply to us. We're America. We're America. It'll never happen here. This have to be referring to some far off land. See, back then, we learned about communism. We learned about fascism, things like that. And it wasn't a good thing then. It wasn't something folks would celebrate. Yeah, it was something the teachers actually was like, look, yeah, if you sniff any signs of communism, fascism, that's not the American way. It's not the American way. And as time would tell, sure enough, we have people in Congress talking about, I'm a democratic socialist. We got folks in the street celebrating communistic regimes and governments and dictatorships and swearing up and down America got the worst system ever. And America's the fascist. And America's the racist country. All of that crap. But what really burns me up is the leaders in our country have played a part in all of this through their efforts to stay in power and to control the minds of a lot of citizens. They've used tactics that have left cracks in our society to where folks aren't able to sniff out that they're being played. They're not even able to, if they did read the book, they're not able to see the book and say, you know what? I remember in the book they were talking about some of the stuff that's going on right now in front of my eyes. Right now in front of my eyes. And, these are the vulnerable people. I call them victims. I really do. I call them victims. A lot of people, would be like, well, you know what? The left hates us. Well, because they're told to hate us. That's why I call them victims. See, they're the folks that if they tell you, you know what? Today, the fashion is that anybody could be whatever they want in regards to race. They'll say, okay, I believe that now. But then 2 days later, they can say it's misappropriation to, use somebody else's race and say that you identify as that. And they go, okay, well then, you know what? I find that to be very offensive now. They can tell folks almost anything and they'll go, what's the color for the day? You want me to wear red? Okay, I'm wearing red. Yeah, what's the new issue we have to get mad over? Okay, I'm mad. And us that are walking around in this simulation, it feels like, are saying, you know what? Y'all are all the main characters in the game. Y'all don't even know it. Y'all don't know the joystick there. You don't know somebody's controlling you. And somehow we've broken out and going, I'm not going to do that. I don't care what buttons you're pushing. I don't care if you went to school to learn how to play some of these new fancy video games. Back in my day with Atari, it was the joystick and one red button. You didn't have to get a degree. You didn't have to read nothing. You just take it out the package, grab the joystick and go to work. Go to work. Now you got 17 buttons on that mess. That's when I gave up on video games because I ain't want to learn it, y'all. I use an excuse. Man, that's childish, man. I don't even want to play. Man, y'all go ahead and play that mess, man. That's for kids. Knowing in my head, I'm like, I can't learn that. I can't figure these buttons out. I'm getting killed in Mortal Kombat. Killed. So I bailed out at that point. These folks don't even realize folks are going A, A, B, X, 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 and A. They're being controlled. They're being controlled. And we're about to see a perfect example of these folks trying to control narratives, minds, feelings, beliefs, attitudes, emotions. All of that is going to be summed up tonight during Kevin's Corner. So buckle up. Aren't you glad to be one of the free players in the game? Like, how do I get out of this? Is there a way out of this game right here? It's unreal. So let's get it. Starting off with creepy.
Should not be a limiting idea. If he has someone that he likes, he's someone he thinks will foot the bill, I would, in all other things being equal, pick the Hispanic because we should look like America in the court.
Now, see, that's before Joe went woke. I mean, he was still a raggedy politician. Don't get me wrong. He was still raggedy. I can't think of one Democrat at this point. Maybe Kennedy was okay, but that's why probably they took him out. But my point is, most of the Democrat Party throughout my lifetime that I could think of, they're all garbage. they're mostly, I'm sure there are some back in the day that might have been, decent. But the ones we know today, even if they've, come from years and years and years, now the garbage have been exposed. So maybe back in the day when Joe was talking like this, people thought, oh, he's a stand-up kind of guy. Who would have known that this guy back then would end up straight up undermining everything he said right here?
But do not suggest that you should only pick a woman, a black, Hispanic.
I've made no decision except one. That person will be the first black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court.
Well, go figure. And see, that's why I say they're garbage. Because you can find clips on the internet of Hillary Clinton, Obama, all of them, all talked and sound like they had some sense at one point. Now, that's how they were able to pull the wool over people's eyes. But for some reason, could be Satan, it could be greed, it could be globalists, but it all comes down to evil. Some reason, these folks have decided to adopt policies that they feel would benefit them or their party that are so contrary to common sense, so contrary to what they used to believe and talk about, so contrary to the American way, to our culture, to our fabric, to our beliefs, to our values, to the Constitution. Now we get this. So here he is talking about how identity politics, it'll never work. You shouldn't pick people based on color, race, sex, all of that stuff. That's silly. You're not going to get the cream of the crop if you take that approach. And then right here, what is he doing? He blew with the wind, and here he goes and picks a Supreme Court justice solely because she's black and she's a woman. But yet they want us to respect these people. See, now, I'm going to give you an example. I don't like being sorry, meaning this. If ever I accomplish anything or if I become good at something, I take pleasure knowing that I'm good at it, that, I'm one of the best or I earned it. Nothing in me feels good if I feel like somebody had pity on me or somebody just, gave me a hookup solely because, I'm hired a brother, even though the brother don't know nothing about microbiology. And I'm down there with the microscope asking everybody in the lab, what's this? I know what it is, but I was wondering if you know what this is right here. Could you double check my work? Yeah, that's a cell. You didn't know that? I knew it. I knew it was a cell. Just out of curiosity, what kind of cell is it? Yeah, I don't want to be there like that. I don't want to feel insecure on my job. When I got a scholarship to Miami University, I assumed that I got one because I was a great running back. That's what I assumed. If I would have got there and they would have started telling me, hey, all right, look, we got 3 white running backs. We needed a black one. Because, the rumor is that we're racist down here. We don't want that. We don't want that image. We want to look more diverse. So we brought you on because you're black. I would be like, tell you what, why don't you take my scholarship, throw it in the trash, okay, and let me go somewhere where they can appreciate my skill set. But nowadays, that's overlooked when it comes down to the left. And he, of course, hooked up John Jackson, the person he couldn't even say her name. And this is also the person who claimed, well, I'm not a biologist. So anyway, she didn't even know what a woman is. So now it comes all up to the future, the present, which is Kamala Harris. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in because something mysterious is going on. Okay, they trying to take us back to 1984, and I ain't going back.
Kamala Harris is inspiring and very capable. The more people get to know her, they're going to be particularly impressed by her ability.
What? Don't hear that, dude. The more you get to know Kamala Harris, you're going to be impressed by her. Well, that's exactly why they're trying to take us back to 1984. Because, see, they know if people get to know Chameleon, they'll realize that she's a chameleon. She changes on the spot. She'll do whatever she has to do, sleep her way to the top. That's right, man. So this chick is out there with a raggedy record, a raggedy past, a raggedy personality, a raggedy laugh. All of these things are raggedy. So now here they are talking about once you get to know her. Well, that's the point. First of all, the people that did have a snapshot of her didn't like what they saw. That's why her poll numbers were so low. Her approval rating, her popularity, all of those things. They didn't like what they saw. And they know if they even widen that microscope lens and allow everybody to start really looking at her in detail, nobody is going to like that. Nobody. It's going to be like the eyeball that I had to see up close. I don't know about you. If you ever seen an eyeball through a microscope, they're not pretty. I don't care how beautiful they look from afar. Look at her. She got blue eyes. Look at that. Hazel eyes. Look at those green eyes. All of that mess. You get up real close on it and you go, what the heck is that? What kind of, are those mountains? What are those warts? No, that's the eyeball. What? You got to be kidding me. Something so beautiful from a distance. You get up close and you start seeing the flaws. So they don't want folks looking at Chameleon up close because you'll start to see the flaws. Now, we've been checking her out. We didn't need to get all the way up on her. We've been able to see she's garbage from a distance. But those that really haven't really looked at her closely, these are the people they're targeting. They are trying to rewrite history. They're trying to be proactive. Proemptive. Yeah, proemptive. Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Preemptive. When it comes, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, anyway. But when it comes down to trying to make sure that the folks that don't really know her, that's going to bother me. Anyway, the folks that don't really know her, preemptive. There it is. I knew it. Yeah, they're trying to be preemptive when it comes down to making sure the folks that have not seen her up close don't see what we all saw. So to do that, they have to take us back to 1984. They went and studied that book. Like, all right, let's see what George had to say. Maybe we could get some ideas. And boy, do they ever. So now here's this guy talking about if you get a chance to see her, you'll see that she's great. Well, let's see.
Nonpartisan GovTrack has rated you as the most liberal senator. Very different in the policies that you've supported in the past. You're considered the most liberal United States senator.
Somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage.
Now she's acting like she's shocked to hear that. I mean, you didn't know it? You don't know your own voting record? You come from Cali. So, and you're talking about some, first of all, it looked like she was shocked that this lady asked her that question. Because oftentimes when you are a Democrat, you are lined up with the media. They make sure they avoid questions like this because it could expose that you're a raggedy politician. So now she looked shocked. Well, how you gonna do this to me? You just gonna call me out like this? I thought we had an agreement. Anyway, let's see. Come on, go through my Marxist conflict theory. Let's see. Who do I blame? Not me. Not me. Can't blame me for my own record. No. Let's go ahead and blame the Republicans. Mike Pence said that. And look what happens.
Yeah. Well, actually, that nonpartisan GovTrack has rated you as the most liberal senator.
Slap to the face.
I'm
Shocked. Like, what? Well, you knew it. You knew what you were voting on. You knew your policies. Maybe you didn't know. Because see, when you're the chameleon, you come out there and you say, all right, let's see which way the wind is blowing. All right, everybody wants gun control right now. I'm on it. Everybody wants to abolish the police today. I'm on it. What? It's not popular? Let me put my hand down. Yeah, I support the men and women in blue until it's not convenient. Then all of a sudden, let's abolish them. Let's get rid of them. See, and so it's hard to keep track of your track record when you really don't stand on nothing. You adapt. You deal. You have no core values. You have no moral compass, no anchor. And now she's getting exposed. So they have to do cleanup because they're stuck with her. All going back to what Biden talked about. This is the whole reason they're stuck with her. Is because back in the day, when he was talking like, you know what, there's no reason to hire someone or appoint someone because their color, their race, and this and that. And then you move up to the date, and they're talking about something. I'm gonna hire a black female vice president. Well, you got her, and she's garbage. Absolutely, 100% garbage. And so now they're in a conundrum. Maybe they didn't expect the starting quarterback to go down. I don't know. But I'm like, all the signs were there. I mean, you got to be kidding me. All right, how you feeling, champ? Oh, my arm is stiff. I got bursitis. My elbow is swollen. I got rickets in both knees. Popped 2 Achilles tendons. Yeah, you know what? I suffer from blackouts. And you're going, okay, champ. Okay, the game's almost here. You think you're ready? You ready? Are you kidding me? You're not looking at your player? You're not going, I think this dude might not make it through the whole season. Maybe we should be looking for a better backup. But hey, that wasn't important. That wasn't important. They had the cackler, and now the cackler is up to start. And everybody is going, okay, now let's see what she's about. Let's see what she's about. So here they go, rewriting it. Let's check it out.
I am prepared to get rid of the filibuster to pass a Greenland deal.
Now that sounds pretty progressive. That sounds pretty radical. There you go. That sounds pretty liberal. Get rid of the filibuster. What else?
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
Oh, no question. No question. She's in favor of banning fracking. So all of you Midwesters, all of you hardworking men on oil rigs and coal mines and stuff like that, you're done. You're done. You don't know what she's willing to do. That's the problem with the left, with Democrats, and especially liberal Democrats like this. See, maybe Joe Manchin, because he's a hometown guy, Their folks probably was like, the chances of him passing legislation or voting for something that would destroy all of our jobs is kind of slim. He might get pressured. Who knows? However, with her, it's hard to plan. The whole Democrat Party, when they're in charge of the government, it's hard to plan. You can't predict. You can't sit back and say, man, I trust that my government isn't going to do things to hurt me. They're not going to wake up one day and just sell my job off somewhere else because they're getting kickbacks from that country. They're not going to just say, because some globalist somewhere says the Green New Deal is the new fashionable thing, and we want to go ahead and supply all the infrastructure. We want to be able to redesign everybody's cribs with air conditions and all of this stuff. We want to be able to benefit off of these batteries and stuff like that. But the only way we could really sell it to the American people is you politicians have to push it. You guys have to become sales reps for us. And hey, you know what? We might just be donating to your campaign or something like that. And then you go out there and climate change is the existential threat. We have to get rid of carbon footprints. And you know what? We need to ban fracking. All because some other powerful people are encouraging you, not because you believe in it. Not because you're simply that in tune with how the ecosystem is and how it affects the atmosphere and all that stuff. She didn't even know how to operate the electric car. All right, my finger's on the button. You can release it now. Oh, okay, I could do that. Is it charging? I don't know. Is it on? This woman right here, along with many other Democrats, they support policies that hurt us, but you know they really don't support them out of their own heart because they don't even know the details about things like this. So now here you are just praying and hoping they don't wake up today and just decide today we're banning fracking. And you go, what the? What, you didn't mention this when we voted for you. That's my job. Oh yeah, you'll be okay. Trust me, if you go back to school, you'll be able to learn how to go out and dig and help out with the battery. And you're going, I'm 60. I was like 5 years away from retiring. What are you talking about? This is the fear of putting a progressive in office like this. You have no idea which way she's going to blow when whoever controls her just decides this is not popular. We're getting rid of this. And then they sell you on some bull crap. It's an existential threat. It's actually a benefit. It's a benefit. And yet you sitting there going, I don't think it is. Not to me, at least. But you're telling me to shut my mouth because this is an existential threat. Let's continue seeing her under the microscope.
Would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes.
What is the solution for voters in the fossil fuel industry?
Giving the workers an ability to transition.
There you go. See, told you guys, just out there in that coal mine. Yeah, all you guys out there, you're just going to have to go back to school. You have to transition. There it is. Go learn the code. Now, I know you're 70. But you're going to need to go learn the code. Or perhaps you'll be in Walmart. Paper or plastic. Welcome to Walmart. Please show me your receipt on the way out the door. Okay, you're good. And in your mind, you're thinking, you got to be kidding me. They're telling me transition. So this is how they approach people. When you have politicians that are in America first, they look at us as pawns, casualties, collateral damage. Who cares? If I take all the jobs, take all of these products, take our way of life and just shove it down your throat and say, you eat that because we're going in a different direction. Don't even give you time to plan. Don't even give you time to, adapt. Don't give you a choice. Things like that. Just come in like Joe did with the Keystone, the pipeline. Just shut it down. All those folks that supported him got jobs gone, just like that. Now, here you are trying to plan your life. I think this is going to be a good thing, hon. I mean, Joe Biden said he's going to support us, and our union worker was like, let's do it. So I'm hoping this works out for us, okay? I'm trusting them. And almost immediately, their jobs were gone. So this is how these folks roll. Now, if Joe would do that, and really we all know that he was not as liberal and progressive as they made him be, what do you think this chick is going to do?
We're not going to treat people who are undocumented cross borders criminals. That's correct.
There you go. Chicago, Shite Town. There you go. New York, Big Crapple. Yeah, they're coming your way. You put her in, you think she's gonna all of a sudden put on her Porter Czar hat? Get firm on it? They would tell us anything to get elected. The Republicans are the ones that the Border Patrol didn't get passed for, and it was Donald Trump. It was Donald Trump, the one that was adamant and made his whole campaign about stopping and closing the border. That guy is responsible for it because he told the Republicans not to sign the greatest legislation, the most extensive legislation for Border Patrol. He's the one that called him and told, no, he called him and said, don't sign that crap bill. If you give them what they want, we're going to have more folks in here. And then Joe Biden comes out with that bootleg executive order pretending he's doing stuff. That's how they roll. They will adapt right around election time. And soon as this woman gets in, do you think she's then going to buckle down? She's going to tighten up on that border? She's going to become serious about it? She sat back and turned her head for years as these people were coming across and got the nerve to get on TV and lie to folks. The border is secure, almost as if she didn't even believe it herself. Telling everybody the border is secure. And yet we got more folks in there than ever before. And now the new word on the street, it's Donald Trump. It's Donald Trump. It's not us. So there you have it. These are incidents that show her real nature. And if people can't see this, they deserve what they get. When you start going back through these clips and you see her saying these things, that's the chameleon, the real one. But now they're trying to rewrite that. 1984, baby.
Your hand if you think it should be a civil offense rather than a crime across the border without documentation.
There you go. You see that big fat hand up along with all the rest of those sellouts? Yeah, that's her. That's her. That's not a cheap fake.
Abolish ICE. Yeah, is that a position you agree with? We need to probably think about starting from scratch.
Ice, baby. Too cold. Ice, baby. So now, here she's talking about starting from scratch. Start why? Huh? I mean, we had a system that was working. I mean, did ICE get worse? ICE was trying to do their job. They were doing it under Trump. But that didn't work for them. Didn't work for her. Why? Because it was effective. There it is. Yeah, the system was working, and we didn't like it because we need the system to be broken. So now we need to start from scratch. Yeah, same thing. We're getting rid of the police and reimagining, okay, law enforcement. Yeah, because we want to federalize the police. That's what we want to do.
Outdated, it is wrong-headed thinking to think that the only way you're going to get communities to be safe is to put more police officers on the street.
Yeah, just put posters up. Yeah, things like that. Smiley face stickers in the neighborhood. There you go. Show someone some love. Yeah, send in a whole bunch of, counselors and things like that. How's that working up there in Shitetown? What do you think about New York? How about East St. Louis? All of these S-hole ran Democrat cities who their leaders done destroyed the morale of the police. Even if they didn't just straight defund them, they demoralized them. So, yeah, okay, fine. We ain't gonna take all the money, but we're gonna call y'all a bunch of white nationalists, systemically racist. We're gonna make sure we send a message to y'all that if you put your fingers on any minority, even if they're breaking the law or threatening your life, we're gonna make an example out of you for political gain. So now, what do the cops do? I don't know about you, but I'm telling you what I would do. Where's my walkie-talkie? There it is. Yeah. You know what I would do, y'all? Car 15, where you at? We are pursuing someone right now on foot as we're under the bridge watching cat videos on YouTube. Dude, this is hilarious. Did you see this one? You said, hold on for a second. We can't respond to that right now. What did you say? Shots are fired? Yeah, folks are getting killed. Are there any other cars in the area? Well, no, I'm on foot right now. Well, I know it doesn't sound like I'm chasing anyone because I do a lot of cardio. Okay, I don't need to be breathing heavy. You know what? I can't talk right now. Over and out. That's what I would be doing. I'm like, man, I'm not going into the hood trying to do. First things first, if I go in there and I arrest somebody, they're back on the streets laughing at me the next day. That's the worst. Laughing at me like, yeah, you thought you had me, didn't you? That's the first thing. Secondly, if I have to choke that dude to sleep, or even worse, defend my life by shooting him, now I'm the one in charge. I'm on some charges. Now all of a sudden CNN, this is a systemic issue when it comes down to race. So what person wants to join the force in liberal SO-ran cities like that? Thus the crime goes up. As they up here flirting around with, we need to reimagine policing. And we don't need more cops, we need less. This is the logic that comes out of these raggedy folks. But yeah, she's intelligent? No, she's not intelligent. She's corrupt, she's evil. Yeah, this woman right here is not using common sense, and she was a prosecutor. And she's now up here telling folks that less police is better.
Would you support changing the dietary guidelines?
Yes, look at her. She ain't even thinking it through. Didn't ask one question. Didn't stop for 1 second to think, well, wait a minute, how would that look? Whose lives would that impact? How would this be rolled out? Nothing. This lady asked her a off-the-cuff question, and she's agreeing before the lady even finishes speaking. Would you, her head shaking already. Yeah, as the lady's talking, her head is shaking. Like, yes, yes.
Would you support changing the dietary guidelines? Yes. Reduce red meat specifically. Yes.
That's what you want? Yeah. So all of the minorities that might possibly be duped and vote for her because she's black or she's a woman, good luck when you want to eat some fried spam and ain't none on the shelves. You go in for some hog mogs. You want some of those pork chops. You want a big old fat hamburger. And here she gets in and pushes policies to say, yes, get rid of meat. Absolutely. But not for me. Not for me. But for you guys, let them eat cake. And good luck when you say, I want to make my own food choices. No. That's dangerous for your body. Yeah, we'll make those choices for you. Who knows what she's capable of pushing when she didn't even hear the end of the question and she's going, yes. Now, when I see people like that making decisions for my life, I get concerned. We've been eating meat from the dawn of time, and now she's saying, yes, absolutely. And I'm going, you're not the person I want in power or in control. If I want to eat meat until my feet starts tingling in the middle of my sleep, I'm going to eat meat. I mean, granted, it might not be healthy, but it's my choice. As these are the same people that's talking about some women's choices, and do you know what? They're taking away women's choices. But yet they will take away everybody else's choice when it comes down to stuff that is on their agenda. Drive this car. Don't eat this. Go sit in your crib. Get the shot.
Who are convicted in prison, like the Boston Marathon bomber, on death row, people who are convicted of sexual assault, they should be able to vote?
I think we should have that conversation.
Yeah, I think we should have that conversation. Not bold enough to just say yes or no, right? See, that's how liberals hope to get elected without really revealing how liberal they are. There it is. They say things like, you know what? I'm willing to put together a committee to research the possibility of reparations. So I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no. I know I can't say I'm promising reparations because then all of the moderates will go, what the heck is going on here? You seem a little leftist. You seem a little liberal. You seem a little extreme. So what they do, they try to find that soft spot. Say things like, I think that we should have that conversation and let you fill in the blanks. Tell me what you're thinking. I can handle it. I don't want to be wondering. I don't want to be sitting back like, all right, we've been dating for, 8 years now? I know I should have asked this question a little earlier, but how do you feel about me? I need to know up front. If you say, you know what, I think you're all right, you're a decent looking guy, you had a lot of fun, but I don't want to get serious. Oh, at least I know that. Up front. But here you are. I mean, I think we can have that conversation at some point. I mean, you're going, okay, I guess I should roll with that. Yeah, but I don't know how to invest because I don't know which way you're going. I need to know what you're thinking. Then give it to me. Let me make the decision. Let me decide. But when you're giving me that gray area, when you're trying to avoid questions or answers, when you're doing things like we saw her do when they asked her about long-term abortion, I mean, you know what? That's silly. I'm not even going to entertain that. That's stupid. Answer the question. I need to know what I'm voting for, but I don't because you're a chameleon. See, now I'm putting her under the microscope. That's what I'm doing. Because the guy said, once you get to see her, you're going to love her. You're going to love her.
We have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program.
I supported a mandatory buyback program. So now she want us to be like Australia might. That's right. When the next pandemic hit, and we said, we don't want to go into the house. But we ain't got no guns. Because they implemented a buyback program. So all we got is a knife. And I don't care how big the knife is. It's nothing compared to a tyrannical government. So now here you are talking about some buyback program. How's that going to work? You didn't buy it in the first place. So what are you talking about buyback? It's a gun confiscation. And yet you're trying to change up the definition or the wording to make it seem like it's fair. So why you want it? We're giving you, what, a third of the amount that you paid for it. And that's not including all of the additional things you put on it, the optic and the stock. You done swap this out. You got it nice and polished. Now we're going to come in and give you a third of what you paid for it and say, hey, take that. You'll be all right. And how would that work? You think Chameleon is going to go door to door knocking on folks' doors talking about, we heard you got an AR-15 in there. Can we come in and get it? See how that works out. But yet, here she is throwing that out there just like that. The fact that you would even suggest that or even hint around to something like that, my eyebrow goes all the way up. Both of them. I'm sitting there like, what did you just say? You get the double eyebrow. So yeah, I don't want nobody in office that would even hint or flirt around with talking about a buyback program.
So for people out there who like their insurance, well, they don't get to keep it.
Let's eliminate all of that. Let's
eliminate. That's it. That's how casual she is with our lives. I mean, you know what? Let's eliminate that. I mean, come on, let's move on. This is silly. Why are we even debating this? As some folks going, but I like you just disregarded my feelings and I got a situation here that I'm used to. And you just come along and flip it over and say, let's move on. You think that's the type of person you want running the country? You don't know what to expect. She might wake up on the wrong side of the bed. So this is the real chameleon that they're trying to hide from everybody.
I'm opposed to any policy that would deny any human being public health, period.
Except for veterans and the homeless. There you go. Low income folks in y'all cities as y'all push them out the way for illegal immigrants. There you go. Out of the way, you. You're no longer in fashion. You're not in vogue, you black folks that don't vote as much as we thought you would. Get out of the way. You don't even know how to use a computer or go get an ID. Go sit down somewhere. Now listen. Come on in, Felipe. You got a family? You know what? We're going to get you some insurance. We're going to get you some Vatican care. And we're going to go ahead and let's send all their kids to community college. Let's get their kids in some community college. You need a cell phone? Let's get them a cell phone. You know what? What else you need? Food. Here, matter of fact, here's a card. Whenever you need something, just swipe it. No, I'm not paying for it. The people right here that we're not feeding, the ones that live in this neighborhood, this intense and stuff, they're the ones. They're the ones that's paying for it, not me. So welcome to America. But stay in this area. Okay, we're just giving you a heads up. No, not that we don't want you in our area. It's just that our area is full. You wouldn't like it. Telling you. It's white nationalists there. So we're going to leave you right here amongst the brothers and the Latinos. They'll take care of you.
The more people get to know her, they're going to be particularly impressed by her ability.
Well, I'm not. We did it, yo. So now, guys, take a look at this chart. This is why they have to go ahead and reinvent her. This is why they have to take us back to 1984. Look at this. This is the real chameleon.
I want to welcome these leaders for coming in to have this very important discussion about some of the most pressing issues of our time.
Oh, y'all hear that? So now there she is back in the day. She had minimal responsibilities. So they stick her little butt out there in her Smurf suit, with that big black mask on. Okay. And she's talking about the issues of our time. She finally got the spotlight. Let's see how she handles it, y'all. Because let's just imagine this is on the global stage. Let's imagine she's the president. And she's sitting at a table with some heavy hitters. You got Vladimir Putin. You have Xi over there. You got all of them. You got the Lee Ayatollah. All of them. They're all sitting around. And here she opens up with this.
I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
This meeting is over. Someone go get car. I'm leaving. Not going to sit and be belittled by a woman who don't know that she's a woman. My pronouns are she, her, him, and I got a blue suit on. Did you have to look to see what color suit is? I know what the color blue is. Stuff like that. Opening up with that garbage, man. And I'm sitting there going, that's progressive. That lets me know you're a liberal. How in the world can any grown man, this is really kills me, men, I don't understand how men could look and say, I would follow this lady. It's not that I wouldn't follow a female leader, just not this one. Here she is talking about my colors are belittling everybody's intelligence, sound like a kid. If this wasn't even the vice president and it was just somebody you met and was on a date, you were going, this chick is dense. Here she is like, so I'm happy to be on this date. My name is Kamala Harris. Yeah, I knew that. We were chatting on Facebook. Oh, okay. Well, listen, I'm a woman. My pronouns are she, her, him, her, fat, and this, and that, and all of that. And you see, I'm wearing a blue suit. I would be sitting there going, okay, now either you're talking to me like I'm dumb or you are dumb. One of the two. But either way, the date is over. Army crawl. I'm out of here. I'm army crawling my way out. Going to the bathroom and lifting the window. I'm out of there. But that's how she opens up. Now you think any world leader is going to respect her opening up the meeting like that?
Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia.
Once again, this would be our presidente. Now, all of the ignorant folks is going, I'm voting for her because she's black and she a woman and stuff. Okay. Well, be a woman that actually sounds competent. You sound like you are sitting amongst a whole bunch of 3-year-olds, crisscross applesauce, trying to explain to them about these countries. I said, Ukraine, it sounds as if, since she's on the phone, she's Googling it real time. Okay, come on, Chameleon, I should have studied the book on this, but I didn't. My staff member, they told me, they tried. They prepared a document for me, but I didn't look at it. So now here I am. Okay, Ukraine. Ukraine is a what? What is Ukraine? Is it a state or is a country? Shoot, where is it? Where is it? Ukraine, the United States? No, that's not it. Come on. Hold on. Let me put you on hold. Anybody know where Ukraine is at? Where is it at? It's Europe. Okay. It's in Europe. And it's a small country that's next to a bigger country. Now, whoever she's talking to on the other side of that phone, hopefully it's not she. Hopefully it's not somebody who she needs them to respect her. Hopefully it's not that. Hopefully she's talking to a kindergarten classroom. Boys and girls, we got a special call today. It's the vice president. Everybody sent out crisscross applesauce. She's going to tell us about the Ukraine-Russia war. That's what it sounds like. But yet we're supposed to scrub this out of our memory. We're supposed to not think about this because she's was it rad or drad or what's the new term that they use now for her? Brat. She's brat. I think she's rat. That fits her a little better. But yeah, forget all of the airhead statements. Forget how she sounds, how she talks to folks, how she explains things, how she laughs and giggles, how she flubs up stuff. Forget that, because she's brat. No, she's a rat.
Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So
boys and girls,
that's wrong.
Yeah, you hear that? Yeah, she sounds like Mrs. Rogers. Basically, boys and girls, that's wrong. Now, here's one I found that I said, this is the dagger. This clip right here, I was mad that I had never seen this one. You know, I pride myself in being up on my Kamala gaffes and stupid statements and Joe Biden and all them. But when I saw this in the video, I was like, no, she didn't. I thought maybe this is a deep fake. Y'all tell me if this, now I sped it up and this is how she sounds. Understand, I sped this up just for that. Look at this, you ready for this mess? What type of alcohol is she drinking? Listen to the drunk aunt in action.
Today is today. And yesterday was today, yesterday. Tomorrow will be today, tomorrow. So live today. So the future today will be as the past today, as it is tomorrow.
Did you get that, y'all? Did y'all get that trash? That right there should be the dagger in her whole career. That right there is a dagger in your career. She came out, first of all, it's not just what she said, but it's how she's saying it. I mean, she sounded like she just came out of the bathroom with a heroin needle in her arm. Like, oh, man, okay. Okay, come on, Chameleon, baby. Get. Oh, well, hold on for a minute. Go on now, go away. I'll be out in a second. God. All right, come on. Let me get this out my arm. Came right out there. Okay. Today is the day, which is not tomorrow, but it could be tomorrow, depending on how you see the day. Okay. So let's listen to that again and see if we can make sense out of that nonsense without taking into account she looks like she's about to fall asleep. Now understand, I sped this up.
So basically that's wrong.
Today is today.
Today.
And yesterday was today, yesterday.
What? Today is the day. And today is what yesterday was, but yesterday ain't here because it was yesterday. But today is here because it's today. Okay, so let's see if we can finish translating this.
Tomorrow will be today, tomorrow.
Oh my God. Somebody go get an EpiPen. Somebody go get some type of adrenaline shot to pull her out of it. How much alky did she drink? Tomorrow ain't here yet, but tomorrow's coming because it's not yesterday. Okay. What did I say again? Okay. Anyway, you know what? Let me listen to your aunt, baby. Listen to your aunt. She had to have drank a whole fifth of liquor. I'm talking some Everclear. She must have just threw back some straight moonshine, slurring her words, staggering, looking nuts.
So live today.
So live the day.
So the future today will be as the past today.
My God. This jumps all the way to the top for me. This is my new favorite word salad from her. I mean, I'm mad that I just discovered this, y'all. You sure it ain't no deep fake? This is real, right? I mean, I'm hoping it's real. See, it could be. But the person who had it highlighted on their channel usually don't play around with these things. So I'm thinking this is real. It sounds like something she would say. But boy, I tell you, let's finish hearing it. I'll fact check it later because it sure is hilarious.
As it is tomorrow.
Wow. So now let's get into it, y'all. 1984. Yeah, it was a good year. But come on. Okay? Yeah, I don't want that mess now because it was yesterday. 1984 wasn't all the way yesterday, but it was like many days ago. And even though it was back then, we could be where it is, but not really be where it's at. Okay? So I'm going to bring 1984 back to today so it can go ahead and cover up the fact that I don't know what to say. Okay? So now, here we go. 1984. Look at this.
But there's also something a little bit insidious going on with Harris and the media.
I'll say.
There is an attempt to rewrite history and airbrush her shoddy record of border control while in office.
1984.
Quote-unquote border czar. Vice President Harris was not a border czar.
Meantime, Vice President and border czar Kamala Harris facing some backlash.
What he said about...
Yeah, it's funny. That's how I feel. Yeah, like that movie, that series, you take the glasses off, you're like, what, am I seeing what? Hold on. Are you kidding me? Yeah, every time I take the glasses down, I'm thinking, is it just me? Or are they seriously trying to tell us she wasn't the borders? I'm pretty sure I saw her as the border czar. I'm pretty sure everybody agreed that she was the border czar. And then you put the glasses on like, whoa, this is deep. They are straight trying to trick us. They're trying to make us say, you didn't hear what you heard. You didn't see what you saw. None of that stuff. While leaving evidence all over the internet.
Harris and immigration was not true. She was never appointed border czar.
And this will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
People gonna have to counter the misinformation. You already hear folks talking about the border czar. She wasn't the border czar.
Oh, babe, don't ask questions. Just believe, okay? Forget the fact that there are all types of evidence of us saying, at the border czar, they appointed her the border czar, the border czar, and all that stuff. Forget that. Don't believe what we said back then. Believe what we said now. So listen to me now, but hear me later and understand me tomorrow. So here we go. They're telling folks, obey.
President Biden tapped Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, to be the border czar.
Now, she wasn't the border czar. That's what Republicans labeled her.
Yeah, it was us. That's what Republicans labeled her. So now you have to understand, we just came up with that out of nowhere. Some right-winger just decided, you know what I think we should start calling her? The border czar. That'd be a good thing to do. Do you understand how belittling this is to our intelligence? How arrogant these people got to be? To say, you know what, forget the fact that we know we were all over that. We were saying border czar, border czar. We're now going to come out and tell people that it was Republicans that came up with that. Yeah, this is all a hit piece on her. They're doing exactly what they did for Joe. And then pretended that, what? No, we didn't help push that narrative that he was fine. Yeah, we didn't go ahead and adopt the talking point immediately from the White House that sent it out and said, from now on, I want y'all to go ahead and come up with this new term called cheat fakes. We're on it. There's this new thing going around there called cheat fakes. It's the Republicans, the right wing, come up. And we're going, we didn't come up with that mess. Where'd this new term come from? Where'd this new definition come from? We don't sit around thinking these things up. We react to them. We respond to them. But we record them here, man to T, so that you guys can't take us back to 1984. So now, they should have known this was going to happen. Soon as they got the talking point, look, we got to run cover for Chameleon on this border issue. So from now on, here's the talking point. She was not the border czar. It was not an official title and all of that. However, even though we used that title for her, even though when Joe appointed her, he described her as being over this, which would make her a czar. She's over the whole thing. Even though all of that evidence exists, we're going to simply say Republicans came up. We don't know where this came from. The right wing. They just came up with this out of nowhere. Let's finish hearing them try to gaslight us.
They were very critical of Kamala Harris, especially in her role as border czar.
Now what she's up against is folks lying about her border record.
No, now that she's up to bat, y'all have been given your talking point to come out and try to lie about her record, about what she was. So even though she was that, and I'm saying, so nobody felt that was a problem before until y'all are now faced with the fact that, oh crap, so we got to run cover for her? Okay, this is going to be a tough one. We're propologists. We are propagandologists, okay? But this is going to be a tough one. She's unlikable. She's dumb. She's a DI hire. I mean, let's be real. But it's our job to prostitute ourselves. So let's go ahead and try to put lipstick on this pig. Okay, how are we going to spin this? Let's just go out and say, wasn't true. She wasn't a border czar. The right wing came up with it. Just like they said Donald Trump's responsible for the border.
Calling her a border czar.
Kamala Harris, who was appointed as the border czar.
The Biden team didn't declare the border czar. They wanted her to work on kind of the root causes of immigration.
There you go. Just kind of the root causes. Just, a little small part of it. I didn't put her completely over the whole thing. I didn't say she's the point person. I didn't do that. I just say, hey, in your spare time, chameleon, of doing nothing, could you maybe just Google search maybe the root causes of illegal immigration? You don't need to go too far because the Google search will go mucus in the Biden administration. However, could you just do that for us? No, don't get too involved. Don't get too involved. We wouldn't want anybody to think that you're the border czar. That's what happened.
There has been so much criticism against Kamala Harris. She was the border czar.
Calling her sort of the border czar, which wasn't necessarily the case.
So the border.
These are liars. Can you believe it? Where's the glasses? Every time I'm going, wait a minute. This is crazy. Yeah, I lift them up and I see the whole world talking about, I don't know what y'all think y'all saw and heard. I don't know what y'all looking at. I mean, this woman right here ain't never had anything to do with the border. You understand that? I don't know what y'all talking about. You put the glasses back on, it's like the border czar. She was appointed the border czar. The border czar. They're trying to make us think we're stupid. But understand, guys, this is only for those dumb voters. They already know that we know that she's the border czar. This is an effort to recreate her and block those that have jumped on her bandwagon all of a sudden from seeing how trashy she really is.
If they weren't planning to address it in a major way, do not make her your border czar. She met with some of the Northern Triangle countries, but nothing has effectively changed.
Yeah. I know. I get it, buddy. I'm confused too.
We are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border.
Oh yeah?
We've been to the
How'd
border.
that work?
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe.
And that's a lie right there. Boy, I tell you, this whole thing about the border, she doesn't even see the right hook coming. She walked herself into the fist. The fist was just out there like this, and she's, boop. Oh, there's a fist out there. Yeah, talking about this whole thing about the border. Okay, we've been to the border. Didn't even stop to think, wait a minute, I'm the border czar, and I've never been to the border. So who is the we that I'm talking about? I mean, am I misplacing the blame? Am I passing the buck to somebody else? I'm supposed to be down there. So we've been to the border, okay? This whole thing about the border. You haven't been to the border. Oh, shoot. I didn't see myself walking to that one. Okay, well, you know what? And I haven't been to Europe either. Oh, wait a minute, chameleon. You have been to Europe. Man, this one's going to come back to haunt me on the internet. And it did. It did.
She was never actually border czar. Border czar, which was not something that was formally conveyed upon her. She's been labeled incorrectly by some members of the right as the border czar.
Members on the right. It was us, guys. Now, you would think they would have learned from all of the gaslighting that they use for Joe Biden. I mean, you would hope that their viewers and voters would learn. These are the same people that told you Biden was fit as a fiddle. These are the same people that's telling you he's sharp, he's witty, he's vibrant. Same people that was telling us when he was out there saying stuff that didn't make no sense. All that was a stuttering problem. Same people who took the talking point that Joe Biden fell 3 times walking up the steps because of an 8-mile-per-hour wind. 3 times. Might have been 10, even if it was. Nobody gets blown down 3 times in a row walking up the steps. And these are the same folks that came out and ran all that cover. Then when it got so bad, came straight out like, oh, how in the world what happened to them? And now they're out here straight up doing it again. They didn't even wait. As soon as they got their talking points and their orders, they went straight into, all right, here's our talking point. She wasn't the border czar. It all came from the right wing. This is a right-wing conspiracy again. Like our deep fakes that we said was going on under Joe.
Republicans named her the border czar.
Republicans have always
Look at that. Border czar title invented by Republicans, and press repeats it. Now understand, guys, this is the talking point that was sent out. So now let's see, here is the Orwelling effort. Here's the talking points that these folks are repeating that Somebody leaked.
She's been labeled incorrectly.
So here's the leak. Vice President Harris was never appointed border czar. You see how corrupt and stinking this is? So now they want us to believe this is a media we can trust. No, 1984. These are all controlled propagandists. This is sad. It's a sad state of affair in our country. It says there has never been such a position. It doesn't exist. Now, they're not even fact checking. They're not going back and saying, well, you know what? Thanks for telling us that, but we're going to find out on our own. We're going to do our own research. We're going to go through our archives. No, they just took this and said, this is what they said it is. And this is what we're going to come out and say. And they want us to think that they are fair and balanced. And this is a free media. What else did they tell them to tell us?
By some members of the right as the border czar. Republicans name
border czar title invented by Republicans, and press repeats. They're telling the press in this leaked memo, this is what you do, okay? You tell the people that this was the Republicans, and then keep repeating that. Can you believe this? I mean, they should be embarrassed that this leaked memo is revealing that these folks are all propagandists. They should be embarrassed, but nope, they'll come out and say the leaked memo is propaganda. It was all invented by the Republicans. That's not a talking point, a leaked memo from the Democrats.
named her the border czar.
Republicans have always exaggerated what her job was at the border. Republicans, again, have labeled her
talking
the border
point.
czar.
But that's not exactly what...
Okay, here's a new one. Was not asked to lead on the administration's immigration or border enforcement policies. Let's see how they do with their orders.
President Biden asked her to do.
She was never put in charge of the border.
That wasn't actually her task.
Not to secure it, but to address the underlying roots of migration.
What? Look at that. You see these obedient fools? I'm so glad somebody leaked this memo, passed it around, and now you see it played out in real time. So here's the next one. POTUS tasked her to lead administration diplomatic root causes strategies in Central America, not border policies. Let's see how they do.
Was charged with leading the administration's efforts to address the root causes of migration.
The root causes of migration to the U.S.
The root causes.
Root causes.
Root causes are root causes.
Root causes
of immigration.
We also.
This is fascinating. Fascinating. Now, good grief. I mean, wow. What can you say to this, man? What can you say? Like, some alternative media needs to be asking the media who said this, hey, there's these talking points that's going around, and I saw you repeating them. Are you working for the DNC? Do you work for the White House? I just want to know, because you're saying everything they told you to say. So let's move on and see what the next one they told them to say. Here we go. Border crossings by migrants from Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. The countries and vice president root causes portfolio have decreased dramatically in recent years. So come out and lie. Come out and tell them that because of the root causes and all this stuff, but don't worry about it, guys. It's decreased in the last few years.
I want to point out that right now apprehension numbers continue to decrease in our country, especially over the last few months. And I just want to note that border crossings have been going down.
And illegal border crossings are lower right now.
Migrant crossings continue to drop.
Border crossings are way down.
Border crossings are down.
This is shameful. No independent thought. Can you believe they're doing this? So they're getting a lot of money to prostitute themselves, because that's what this is. I mean, these people might as well be working for a PR firm for the Democrats. They just straight came out and reading the talking points that they gave them.
He said she was Joe Biden's border czar. She wasn't. She was never put in charge of the border. She was given a much more limited assignment to lead a so-called root causes diplomatic effort trying to address the reasons in Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras that people choose to migrate. Now, many Republicans scoff at this kind of fact check. They're like, there were a bunch of articles back in 2021 that called her border czar. Frankly, those articles were wrong. And if you look at CNN's own coverage, not to toot her own horn, but you'll see that the White House and Harris's office consistently, as early as early 21, pushed back on that framing.
Flashback. Very quickly, what do you think about Kamala Harris? She's supposed to be out front
on these issues. She has not been. What's your takeaway from it?
She's supposed to be out front. Didn't say, you know what, she's sitting back in the back cuts. It's just a minor, job that she has. This is why Trump hit it on the head when he called them the fake news. There's no way you can take these people seriously, but yet they have so much of an impact on our society. That's the scary part about this. I mean, as sad as this is and how blatant this is to us, it is completely hidden from a large population of Americans. They hear this crap, and you will hear people defend Kamala Harris based on these lies that these people are saying. They're less likely to get this montage sent to them. That's why I'm going to break this down and condense it. Something real nice so y'all can send that out. Just the clips. I just want the clips. I'm going to condense all of this into a nice little montage, and I want y'all to send that out to any of your friends who's like, come on, they're lying on Kamala Harris. She ain't never did nothing like that, and she was never appointed to... You will hear so many of the talking points that we have to defend constantly when we talk to people suffering from TDS. I hear it constantly. You see the media, Trump, the bloodbath. And sure enough, I will run into somebody on the streets and say, did you hear what Trump said? He called him a bloodbath. Got one. Trump never disavowed. What about when he said that there were good people on both sides? Both sides, there are good people on both sides. Go both sides. You run across somebody, why do you hate Trump? Man, because he's a racist. Why do you say that? Because he said that there were good people on both sides. You will hear how these talking points, repeated over and over again, works, but only on the simple-minded, not us. Their Jedi mind tricks don't work on us. Let's continue.
Well, interestingly, they released a readout this week between her and a member of the cabinet, Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, and they talked about the incident of the Border Patrol on horseback.
Look at that. Stay asleep.
Who aggressively confronted the Haitian migrants. So it was an example of the White House showing she was connected to the issue in some way, but she has repeatedly said that she's focusing on the root causes of migration and that the border is a separate matter. What we are learning and seeing in real time is that you really can't separate the two.
Yeah, you really cannot.
You really can't separate the two. So what is it, Chameleon? Were you over it or not? Did Biden, break it down and say, you know what, do it casually? No, she was over it. She should have been hands-on. She went down there, gave some bootleg press conference talking about some don't. And that was it. We ain't seen her since. Neither has the border.
And don't
ask questions.
So-called fact checkers at Axios were left red-faced after their fact check was labeled misinformation.
So somebody fact check the fact checkers. They should lose their license. So they're lying? So let's see, because they be forgetting they leave receipts on the internet too.
They wrote the Trump campaign and Republicans have tagged Harris repeatedly with the border czar title, which she never actually had. Eagle-eyed users were quick to dig up reporting by Axios itself, which included lines like this. The number of unaccompanied minors crossing the border has reached crisis levels. Harris, appointed by Biden as border czar, said she would be looking at the root causes that drive migration.
So they must have had an inside right-wing Republican working for them. Who sabotaged that? Which Republican inside this company put that lie out there? It wasn't. Yeah, that's back when they didn't know that this would come back and bite them. And so they went out there and wrote that. So now they got fact-checked. And this is why they want to police the internet. This is why they suppress channels like mine and others. This is why they hate the fact that they have competition when it comes down to reporting the facts, because they don't report facts, as we just saw. They report talking points. And then you have folks that are sitting back waiting for this type of garbage, and they go, oh, there we go. And they going, dang on it, Google, I thought y'all had our backs. I thought whenever somebody Google this or ask a question, you push all their stuff all the way down, or you hide stuff. I thought you're snatching down and suppressing videos, or anybody out there revealing this crap and exposing us. So that's why they hate independent journalists, commentators, news organizations, because see, we do this stuff. We embarrass them and show just how garbage they are. Now, even with all of our efforts, the sad part is that you have so many Americans that they don't do this. They don't be looking for stuff like this. So they just hear it and believe it.
The House voted to condemn Harris on the border crisis, including 6 Democrats, but then others are trying to defend her in some way. The vice president has been supportive of health care for illegal migrants. She also says they're entitled to have their kids go to school here and get other services. Also talking about...
Now, see, those two alone, for any of the black or any Latinos or any minorities to say, oh, Harris, oh, man, you know what? She's the one because she's black or she's a woman. Do they know that? Do they know she supports healthcare for all the illegals? Do they know that? Do they know she want amnesty that's going to be allowing these folks to post up in your neighborhoods and stuff? Do they know that she's giving all those resources? She wants to give all those resources to the illegal immigrants? But no, they don't know that. What they know is she's black, she's a woman, and she's not orange man.
Abolishing ICE. So how damaging could this be for her as she's moving to the top of the ticket? At least that's how it seems right now.
Well, that depends on how we penetrate the fake news. How we get our message out above all these lies and propaganda to cover her up. That's what it depends on. You know, Joe Biden would have never been in office if it wasn't from the media. He would have never made it through his first 4 years. Kamala, none of them. Most of these Democrats, if the media was doing what they're supposed to do, the party wouldn't even exist. Honestly, the party is able to operate and exist because they know that they have the media in their hands and in their bag, in the deep state too. It kills me. I watched them ask Raggedy Ray the other day up at the Capitol. They're asking him the FBI and all this stuff. And I noticed the Democrats seem to love the FBI. They love them. The men and women from the FBI, would you say that it's dangerous that, Project 25 wants to take the power from the FBI and make them report directly to the president? Would you say that's dangerous? Would you say it's dangerous talk about abolishing and getting rid of our fine institute? Now, understand, any institution that the Democrats praise and support is a corrupt institution. It's compromised. It's a tool. Because if it was legit, they would say, quit, get it out of here. That's why they want the Supreme Court done away with. That's why they want to stack the court and pack the court and all of that, because they can't control it. That lets me know that the FBI is compromised because all of them were defending it. They're all like, this is ridiculous to suggest that the FBI, all these rumors, all of these accusations, all of these. And I'm saying they've been helping y'all out. They're an asset to y'all. That's why y'all support them. The minute you get a legit FBI director or they clean up the FBI, those Democrats will be saying, we got to abolish them now. That's what they will be saying. So let's continue.
Well, we see that what the Democrats are trying to do in the media is just all too helpful in trying to completely reimagine Harris. VP Harris, as you know, even when she was in California, she was very soft on crime. I mean, she let out a police murderer because of her soft on crime policies. She's defunded police policies. This is what she stands for. We're fine with her having the title of border czar until all of a sudden now she's the presidential candidate. She has to be held responsible for those policies.
Yep, that's why 1984 is back, y'all. Yeah, we can't have her damaged because she was the border czar and did nothing. I mean, because we already know the Republicans are going to hammer her on that. And Americans are upset about that border. Thus, you got the border czar that should be held accountable for the raggedy border. Thus, number one objective, distance her from that border. Get that title and definition of border czar away from her. Handle it, media. We're on it. The right wing is saying that she was the border czar. I don't know where they're getting this. Somebody said, why do I keep getting unsubscribed? I'm going to chat with YouTube in a minute right after this because I also know that's starting to suppress my videos again as well. All right, let's finish hearing this. We're almost done.
But they're completely reimagining her. GovTrack is something that's very similar, like a George Orwell book. GovTrack actually deleted some of the information that they had about Vice President Harris, where they compared her to all the other senators and decided that she was the most liberal of all the senators, beating out the records of Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren.
Wow. So GovTrack is working also for the left. Now, you see that? You see how we're living in 1984? Do you understand how corrupt the system is now? So they put out stuff And then when they're thinking, okay, we got a new candidate, let's find every negative or damning article, poll, or anything out there and tell them, get rid of it, delete it. Yeah, anything that anybody could research and find, scrub it. But you know, once it hits the internets, it's out there.
And now they're completely trying to recreate history, rewrite her resume. But the fact is that as a result of her lack of policies, her taking the policies away that were working under the Trump administration, that as border czar, she was a complete and miserable failure. As a result, we've seen over 110,000 deaths from fentanyl in our country. We've seen over 10 to 14 million illegals enter our country, including those in the terrorist watch list.
No wonder they got to clean this up for her. No wonder they don't want the folks knowing that the border czar let this happen, along with mucus. Now, in all fairness, she was set up for failure when it comes down to being the border czar, because the Democrats' objective is to break the border. She knew that, why are you naming me the border czar when we all know that we are doing this on purpose? So now you want me to get out there and fake like I'm trying to stop it? We all know that. But because they had to play the game and the optics, I'm gonna hold them accountable. So if you were supposed to be the border czar, why is the border raggedy? There it is. She'd have been better off by just saying, no, you're not gonna set me up, for the simple fact we all know that we're doing this together on purpose. So that's why you didn't get an effort out of her to stop anything.
We have had innocent women and children raped and murdered across our country by people who should never, ever be in this country. True. And now they're trying to claim this was never her responsibility. When clearly in March 2021, President Biden was very clear that he was putting her in charge of controlling the numbers that were coming over the border.
He did say that.
She failed at that, and we've also seen additional failed policies. Wow. But we're going to be holding her to task. I think the American people are holding her accountable. They're seeing what terrible policies that this administration has enacted, and they're suffering as a result.
That votes now.
Well. Now look at this. They had a vote, and even some Democrats voted to damn her. Listen to this.
Officially passed, we're hearing?
Yeah, it has officially passed. The final number was 220 to 196. And again, that is with those 6 Democrats, almost all of them frontline Democrats, meaning Democrats in competitive districts, voting for it. I can tell you, Diane, it was expected that this resolution would probably pass along party lines, because this was obviously a Republican effort to condemn Harris and start to build this case of disagreement with her over policy. But I don't think anyone was really expecting 6 House Democrats, and that's a fair number just given how slim the numbers are here in the House of Representatives.
Wow. Well, look at that. So 6 Democrats have condemned her about her border czar activities, I guess. 6 Democrats that got to be accountable to their constituents that live probably in districts that border Mexico or whatever. That's going, if you don't vote for this, we already know what you about. You're going to have to go, which they should have to go anyway. All of them should have to go. Any Democrat that supported this border initiative, didn't vote to impeach mucus, any of them should go. Frankly, I think the whole party should go. But now they got to spin this. Because remember, guys, this is not a good look that folks in her own party had to go ahead and bite the bullet and say, yeah, she sucks at this. So watch how he tries to spin it back in her favor.
To vote for a resolution that is condemning the presumptive nominee of their own party. To note here, which is we have seen some House Republicans in recent days start to take aim at Harris over her race.
Oh, here we go. Oh, now I got to go ahead and put on my man hat, because we're going down the race train. I'm going to jump on racism's back and ride it. There you go. I got to ride the back of racism right about now. I'm going to get on that bull and tame it. So here we go. She's black. She's a woman. You can't say she's a DEI hire, because that's like saying the N-word or something like that. So now let's go ahead and shift away from that border and get back on the fact that Republicans are using racist tropes and stuff like that.
We heard them use the phrase DEI hire and things of that nature. And one of the things we've learned, Rachel Scott and I are reporting, that sources tell us that in a closed-door House Republican meeting earlier this week, Speaker Mike Johnson told them, focus on the policy, don't focus on personal attacks. This resolution is in that vein, trying to focus on border policy.
Yeah. So now, you see how he tried to slide that in? He tried to say, okay, yeah, she did get condemned about the border and all, but so what though? Because the Republicans are also attacking her because of race, and she's a DI. Now understand, DEI has many facets to it. It could be racially based, can be based on your sex, your gender, whatever that is. It could be based on a lot of stuff. It means that let's go out and find a whole bunch of diverse folks that got characteristics that make no difference or impact about who they are as a person, and just divide them up and make them feel like they're victims, and we're looking out for all of you. Not based on your aptitude, you know, how proficient you are, how good you are, what you do, if you're the best for the job, not that. You know, let's go ahead and find another group of people that are, you know what, maybe got one leg. There you go. We got to get one of those in here, regardless that he doesn't know what he's doing. But we want to hire somebody with one leg. They find little things and just say, we want this person. If the one leg man is great, hire him. If he sucks, hire him. If the two leg guy sucks, make him get fired. Bring in the guy with the one leg if he could do a better job. So these folks, that's what they focus on. Just so happen, Kamala checks two of their boxes. She's a black woman. She could have been a white gay woman. She could have been a transgender woman. There's so many other boxes under DEI that they will cram people into positions based on those boxes. So now, since she checks these two boxes, they're saying, well, we got one of those boxes that deal with one of the most polarizing issues in our society, all drummed up by the left. Racism wouldn't be as big an issue in our country if it wasn't for them. So they're like, great, let's just simply say they're using racism. That'll go ahead and shut them up. That'll bubble wrap her from criticism.
So, Selena, how do you expect Harris to now defend against this? We have heard the campaign already talk about how she wasn't actually the border czar. But do you expect to hear more on what she actually did in her role in terms of immigration and the border? And what do you expect to hear from her about that today?
Yeah, look, I think her campaign is driving home the message about the contrast here between her versus former President Donald Trump.
Oh, notice this lady right here didn't say nothing about how she would address that whole border czar issue. Yeah, she asked you a question. What are they going to do on how they're going to combat these accusations about the border czar? How are you going to explain people in your own party condemning you? She just jumped straight over that.
And how she believes that she is the best person to hold Donald Trump to account. This is all about the framing of a prosecutor versus a convicted felon.
That's the new talking point. This is the classic case of the prosecutor versus the convicted felon that was convicted under the administration that the prosecutor works for. Yeah, the convicted felon that happens to be competing against the party in power and the party that allowed all these prosecutions and encouraged them and coordinated and conspired with these prosecutors to convict them. So they go ahead, make sure they convict him, and then they're using the fact that he's convicted based on us convicting him, okay, as a talking point. Now, isn't that irony? Orwellian even. Orwellian. So now that's what she's going on. And I noticed the media keeps saying that. Why is it? This is the prosecutor, the prosecuting the felon. They're all saying that.
So while she does have vulnerabilities in those areas we've been talking about, including immigration and the economy, they believe that because of who she is, she can drive out the voters that this campaign needs the most. Her campaign put out a memo just yesterday saying that a disproportionate number of these undecided voters are Black, Latino, and young voters.
There it is. Black, Latino, and young voters. So they're going to definitely use pandering. She's going to get out there and put on that pander hat. She's going to get out there and pander, which she's already been doing. But now they're thinking this is going to drive young folks and women and all of that stuff to the polls and stuff. And I'm thinking, don't you believe it? Most of the women who are going to vote Democrat or vote for her probably was going to vote Democrat anyway. Period. Now, you might knock off a couple independents that might, be swayed because of the propaganda or the nostalgia about the first black woman. But at this point, I don't see a large group of women who probably don't even like her personality, might be even turned off by it, would say, that's who I want to represent me as the first female president. The one that's a bubblehead, the one that's out to tell you, Ukraine is a, and I would feel the same way as a black man. At least Obama was smooth with the talking. He was garbage with the policies. But if you had a black dude who everybody looked at and said, man, this dude is not qualified. This dude is dumb. How did he get in this position? I don't want him to represent the first black man. I'd be like, can we get another one? Can we swap one out? We'll wait it out. We'll wait till the next time.
Groups that they believe Harris can drive out in droves. And I can just tell you here, Diane, I've been speaking to a lot of the teachers and public educators who are here today, and they say they feel a kind of energy and enthusiasm they haven't felt in months, including using the word hopeful.
Hopeful. So let's take a look.
Thank you,
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Wisconsin. I took on perpetrators of all kinds.
Here we go. Here's the narrative.
Predators who abused women.
Oh, did you prosecute Joe Biden? Did you go after him? You didn't hear about Tara Reid? Oh, my bad. Oh, wait. Did you happen to read that diary that his daughter accidentally lost? No, you didn't read that one? You're going after everybody else but the one right in front of you? Okay, my fault. So let's continue.
Fraudsters.
Like the one that you were working for? The one who was getting money from all these other countries and his son was working and was all over the place in Ukraine and China and all this stuff was getting all that money. You mean like that? Oh, no? Okay. What about Nancy Pelosi and her inside trading? Or maybe Mad Max paying her daughter millions of dollars to work her campaign? Are you talking about these people? Chameleon? Who else?
Who ripped off consumers.
Who ripped off consumers? What consumers did Trump rip off? I see where you're going with this. What consumers were mad? What consumers say, hey, Trump, look here, man. I bought this whatever and it's broke and you ain't give me my money back. What consumers? See?
Cheaters.
What cheaters?
Who broke the rules for their own gain.
Don't make me go here. 2020? All right, look, we got us a pandemic. We need to change all the rules in all of the key states. So from now on, let's go ahead and be more loosey-goosey with the system. Bend all those rules so that we can acquire 81 million votes. From now on, you can spend a night working all night like Santa's elves, swiping stuff as everybody had left the building in Atlanta. There you go. Bring out Santa's boxes of, all kind of ballots and start swiping them. It's acceptable now. Hey, you can go ahead and take mail-in ballots from months and months and months and come in with big bags and stuff that people went and, just collected from all kind of people with no signatures. And did you know dead people can vote? 2020 was the worst when it comes down to that. And she's talking about a cheetah. Interesting.
So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
Look at that face. Now, does she look like she's sincere? She's so fake. She's paper thin. She's see-through. That's why they got to reinvent her. All of this is just show, pomp, and
I will proudly put my record against his any day of the week.
Don't you do that, because you ain't got one. That's the thing. You ain't got one. I was the vice president. Okay, I'm black and I'm a woman. That's pretty much all I got. What is she talking about? Proudly put my record against him. Because you know what they want, y'all. They're going to try to go ahead, call Trump a offender. You know what kind of offender? A R-worder. They're going to call him a white nationalist, of course, rapist. I said it anyway, darn it. They're going to call him all of that. They're going to call him Hitler. They're going to say that this guy's a dictator. He said he's going to be a dictator on day one. They're going to say he wanted a bloodbath. They're going to say that the courts found him guilty and culpable for, doing that to Eugene Carroll. They're going to go down their line of all the talking points that would infuriate someone who they know that they didn't do any of those things. And that is designed to invoke Trump to respond and fire back on her. But you can't do it because she's a black woman now. That's the superpower she has. See, it repels any attacks because I'm a black woman. So now she'll get up there and say Trump cheated on his wife. He slept with a prostitute. He slept with a porn star. But if he get up there and say, you was knocking boots with Willie Brown. Willie Brown was having his way. You wouldn't be where you are right now if it wasn't from Willie. He freed Willie. You freed Willie. Okay? You wouldn't be where you're at. If he gets up there and says that, you were sleeping with Willie and he was married. So how you going to talk about some Stormy Daniels and this and that? If he does that, you already know they will go crazy. Absolutely crazy. So she'll get up there and she'll throw out some stuff that even when I hear them say about Trump, that I know that is a lie, I get mad. I'll be going, man. And they want him to do that because, see, they built the reputation in the minds of their voters that Trump is off the chain. He got a foul mouth. He's vulgar. He's going to come at you and say things that are inappropriate. And they're doing things and saying things to invoke that and provoke it. You know what? He's a cheater. He's a liar. He's a convicted felon. Now, I don't know about you. I would be mad as heck if I know these folks abuse their power to convict me. And now they're up there on the stage talking about you're a convicted felon. And you was found guilty, Eugene Carroll, that we had to concoct and bend the rules so that she could even sue you, get a raggedy prosecutor, get a raggedy judge. All of these folks have coordinated all of these things so they can dump it on Trump. And I know that I would be furious if the same people who set me up are now out there telling everybody else, look at him. He did this to this woman and he did that and he cheated and he did it and he frauded the people. That's enough to make somebody lose it. If Trump can keep his cool, but yet get the point across that she's trash, I would love it. I want to see how he's going to negotiate this because that's their goal. It is, Kamala, you're able to get out there and do whatever you want. It's kind of like a woman who assumes that, well, he's a guy. I could punch him. I could kick him. He said he could take it. Well, we feel pain. You know that, right? Yeah. So hit you hard as they want, slap you in the face and all of that. And they're going, I could do all of this to you. You could take it. And I'm expecting that you're not going to hit me back. I'm expecting that you're going to take into account, but I'm a girl. If that dude tees off on her after a couple of these, everybody's going, boo, I can't believe he did that. Well, she slapped me like 15 times. How many of those you want me to take? At some point, at least grab the arm and bend it behind the back. Something. I got to sit here and just take it? So that's what the goal is. Let her beat up on Trump, call him this, trash him, and yet make him have to be scared and tiptoe around saying anything that might reveal how trashy she is.
I'm jumping out of my seat over here watching this. People have been thirsting for this.
And I'll just say this, and I'm with Tim. I'm jumping out of my seat higher than you, my brother.
Well, that's definitely shite.
I'm just going to say that.
There was a twinkle in her eye. There was a kick in her step that, when you're vice president, you're not loose. You can't, there's somebody above you. There's somebody, you don't want to overshadow them. And this was quite the coming out. And I got chills when she said, Donald Trump, I know you're tight. I was blown away. I was like, I kind of fell in love.
How much money does it take for you to put on that red dress and throw on those high heels? That dude, I got chills. It was like watching like the Super Bowl. I mean, it was something I've never seen. I'm telling you, at one point I just fell back and I started convulsing, and it was like, I just felt some wave. I'm like, are you kidding me? She read that, and it was so obvious that this right here is something I read and rehearsed and went over 8 times, and now I'm gonna go ahead and try to land it and make it sound believable and organic.
I thought she was smart, engaging, she's funny, feisty.
You know what I got chills over? Huh, Mr. Propaganda? I got chills when I saw the president get shot in the face. and got up while Secret Services around him and threw his hands up and said, fight, fight, fight. That gave me chills. That's the kind of leader I want to follow. Not a raggedy we did, yo.
Twinkle in your eye, punch you in the gut. I mean, everything you kind of want. I just thought it was a great opening act.
She looked completely comfortable tonight with the words she was speaking. They felt organic.
Shite.
And genuine.
Oh, yes. Shite.
But now we're going to go ahead and end with this. Are the people buying this shite? Is the question. So let's hear from a couple people on the streets. Short.
Oh, the easy answer, it's not an easy choice for me. It still isn't. People are assuming that because I'm a Latina woman that, I'm going to be excited about her. And it's not that easy for me because I worry about character.
Oh, you mean you worry about substance? You mean you're able to look beyond the surface of things? You mean you have a higher expectation for your politicians and leaders than the fact that she's a woman and she's black, she's a woman of color. All of the crap that they shove down our throats and try to guilt us into voting for her? You're telling me that? You're telling me all that 1984-ism didn't work? This is crazy.
We had somebody that was the right hand of somebody that was not healthy who was silent about it, and that concerns me.
I don't think America's ready.
Wow. You see how smart people think? You see how folks that have the ability to say, you know what, something doesn't seem right. That's not, that. One thing leads to another. If you are corrupt enough to get on TV and lie to us and say, Joe is sharp as a tack, fit as a fiddle, he's not dropping out, and then the dude drops out and you don't even revisit that. The dude shows mental decline and you don't even go back and say, yeah, I know I said that he was sharp as a tack. How do you explain that just a few months ago you were saying this guy was in great shape, great condition, and then he has to drop out? And everybody knows that he's dropping out because he is broke mentally. And you got up there and lied to us. Now you're the person that takes his place and you're not even going to stop to address that? This is how a smart person should think. So then why moving forward should I believe or trust you? I'm glad she came to this conclusion. Well, look at this. Some guy called into Charlemagne, the saying in the brain, and let's see what he got to say, because he's black. He's going to say, I support Kamala because she's a black woman of color, and we got to stick together in spite of the Democrats not supporting black, strong men. Not because they're emasculating men, not because it's a weak, effeminate party that any real man shouldn't support. Not because of that. It's because she's a woman. I'm sure he's going to say that, right?
And that concerns me.
I don't think America's ready. I don't think America's ready for a female president. You know what? I'm a black man, and I absolutely do not want another Democratic president in there. I think we should give the Republicans another try. What? There's a lot of agendas that the Democratic Party has kind of put into place that I don't support. I think they're destroying the black man. They're destroying the black family. I think they're ruining our country. And if you're living in New York like I am, man.
Whoa, brother. Don't pay attention to that. What did you got a propaganda blocker in your brain or something? You focusing on real stuff. No, man, look. What you're saying is true. But that doesn't matter. She's an AKA. She's a black female. Yeah, this could be history, man. You don't want to be on the wrong side of history, do you, brother? Interesting that this guy right here has not fallen for it. What else, bro?
And this place is a financial nightmare, not to mention crime. I think if we put Trump back in there, man, it's going to be amazing. Kamala cannot do what he's going to do to bring this country back to where it needs to be. And this is not a race thing, because that's the number one thing they like to say when they talk about Trump.
Oh, and then he came with the block because he knew it was coming. We should all know what's coming. The first thing the Republicans should have did is came out like, okay, here we go. We already know. Y'all are going to tout her as a strong, independent woman, a strong black woman, but at the same time, we'll try to shield her from criticism by saying that when we criticize her, we're doing it because she's black and a woman. They should eliminate that weapon up front. They should come straight out and blast that all out over the media and make it their talking point. and then start belittling these attacks. Oh, let me go. Go ahead. Tell me what? I'm a racist. I'm a racist now because I'm a sexist. Go ahead. I know that's what you're going to say. Force them to walk right into the narrative because that's all they have. They are protecting her by saying she's black, she's a woman. So I would just own it. I would be like, okay, we already know where this is going because that's all y'all have is the Democrats. Yeah, you stick a woman up there. You brag about her being a woman. You brag about her being a woman of color. And then when we say, well, that's what you guys are focused on, you're going to say we're racist for acknowledging that. You don't support her because she's accomplished or she did this or that. Y'all talk more about her race and sex than anybody. And when we say, that's all y'all focus on and that's what you want everybody to vote for, then you say, now you're saying that you're a racist for acknowledging that. So go ahead, lay it on me. Lay it on me. Now what are they going to do? Okay, you're a racist? Yeah, I figured you'd say that. What else? Oh, I'm a sexist too? Yeah. It takes away the impact. You got to beat them to it. You got to own it. I would call them out like, here we go. Come on. Leroy, here we go. Let's see.
And how he's a criminal and blah, 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 blah. I don't think any of that matters. His policy is what we need to focus on, and he's going to get us back where we need to go.
Yeah, brother.
It's not ready.
Uh-oh. And this last one, y'all. He gives this sister an earful. We got an example, y'all, of how the magic, the voodoo, have worked on one of these people. All of that stuff we watched in the beginning of my show, that 1984ism they spreading around, we got a real live example of this. Watch this and how this guy deals with this.
Let me ask you a question. Would you vote for it?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm gonna.
See, and that's what people aren't ready for. The why. See, this is where we beat all of their butts in. Because when you get in the streets and you start talking to people, why do you support Joe Biden? He's not Trump. He's not. When you start asking simple questions, why? So now this woman, he just said, would you vote for her? Yeah. Now, normally, they would expect you to go, cool, you voting for a sister, we got to stick together. But this guy does the unthinkable. Why? Uh-oh, dun, 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 here it comes.
Just be real honest with this. She's a black woman.
I think it goes back to what somebody was saying, where it's not voting for someone, but majority will vote for somebody else just to.
Hold on. Let me man this out.
Yeah. Let this brother talk. Because she had to make the confession. I'm going to be rude. It's because she's a black woman. Good grief. I mean, this is sad to say, but so many people, I just wish they just wouldn't vote. I'm not saying they shouldn't have the right to vote. I just wish they wouldn't. When you don't have any way to defend why you're voting for somebody, but yet your brainless vote can impact my life, I'm going to just sit it out. Stay at the crib. If this was like a mock vote or a run-through vote or it didn't count, didn't impact our lives, then yeah, you could participate. It's like a pickup game. Yeah, you want to get out there and play picnic volleyball? Absolutely. But if we're in a real game and we trying to bump, set, and spike, all of that, and you in the game, I'm going, no. We got to now pass the ball around you. Yeah, we need you to go ahead and sit down somewhere because you can impact the game. This ain't a fun game. This ain't no for fun. This is real. And here she is. I'll be honest, because she's black. So now this guy has to open up her mind by opening up a camera. Whoop butt all over. Big can.
I think majority.
Is it only because she's a black woman?
Yeah.
Do you not see how that's a bad idea?
Elaborate.
This is how I feel often when I hear liberals. And I'll be listening to like, the real concern, like, you're looking around like, I can't believe, you don't see how that doesn't make sense? My friends, we were debating the other day. Man, you know what, how you know Trump even got shot in the ear? And I'm going, you really believe that? I don't know how to take you right now. I'm concerned about you. That's what he's like, you don't see?
So
we're in 3 proxy wars with some of the most powerful leaders in the world. She failed at the border, in which we have an estimation of 15 to 20 million people illegally into this country. That is literally overtaking and bankrupting Chicago to the tune of over $400 million per year, and they're in a deficit. Oh,
see how an informed voter thinks? Boy, I tell you, this is not the type of person you want to debate with if you're a liberal. These are the type of black, free-thinking, intelligent people who they claim, according to liberal black females in the Democrat Party. The black men, they leaving the Democrat Party because they've been brainwashed. They've been brainwashed. No, they don't want to be castrated over there in the Democrat Party. They're sitting back like, y'all do not support men, period. Y'all don't support anything. Y'all hate testosterone. You know, y'all act like you don't know what a man or a woman is. And your policies do nothing for the minority communities. And yet you want us to support you. And so for us to break away from that party, there's a reason why. Yeah, and these reasons now are being manifested as this guy is schooling this sister right here. He's like, you want to know why? You think I just walked away from them and I'm supporting Trump because I'm influenced by Trump? Let me lay this on you. Lay something heavy on her, man.
Oakland is going out of business. San Francisco ditto. California, $65 billion deficit. New York, they're literally cutting trash, in which they are the rattiest, dirtiest city. And they've taken up resources as far as free healthcare, free hotels to the tune of $600 a day.
Wait a minute, stop it. She's black. She's an AKA. She's a woman. All of those things. Don't that count for something? Don't it count for something? All the things you're saying is minute.
They're literally taking over your schools. Your taxpayer dollars are going to fund the migrant crisis. She was supposed to be in charge of this.
We don't care though, because she's black. She's a woman. Oh boy. All right, now look here, little Timmy. You're gonna have to learn Spanish. What? I'm only 5. I just started kindergarten. Yeah, but you're the only American-born kid now in your school. So yeah, you're gonna have to learn a whole new language. Simple as that. Or you might even show up to pick your kids up. School's been let out early. We had something happen. Well, what happened? Did the water break or something? No, just a lot of illegal immigrants showed up and needed a place to stay. So we let your kids out. Now they're going to now be homeschooled until we can figure this out. There you go. You know what? Your playgrounds, the football league is canceled this year because we're going to have illegal immigrants living in. These are the things that's happening in minority areas. And yet you got people out there that thinks like that lady because she's black.
We have a failing economy. Every single day I see people getting on the internet talking about $30 an hour is the new minimum wage because inflation is fucking out of control. At one point, it was at almost 10%, depending on what city that you in. She has no policy, no record to stand on.
He is digging into her. My goodness. Man, this dude who is he? Anton Daniels? I'm going to have to follow him. I'm going to have to find him. My man is digging all that. I wonder if they're going to bring him onto MSNBC or maybe CNN or something. I'm sure he would represent black people properly, right? Nah, they want Joy Reid on there talking about vote for her because she's an AKA. That's right. She was in a sorority. She went to a black college. Yeah, those are the good things. And the culture war. Yeah, vote for those things. They want those folks on TV gaslighting minorities. But they didn't get to this brother. I'd like to see him debate Joy Reid.
One of the biggest things that she did in her career was lock up more black men than ever before. But we sitting here and vote her in office on identity politics.
Jeez, oh man, he is gutting her. Gutting Kamala, and hopefully he's gutting the conscience of this woman who said, I'm a vote for her because she's black. Hopefully he's digging out all of that TDS, all of that identity politics, scraping it clean, doing surgery on her brain. Hopefully he gets it all out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take out this nonsense right here. Oh, that's a nice big spot of propaganda in there. I better cut that out. Get it all out of there. After hearing this, I wonder if she's still going to be like, I stand by my choice. All of what you said that makes absolute sense means nothing to me. Still going to vote for her because she's black. Hopefully she's red-pilled right after this.
Very person that she was under as far as the president of the United States of America, she called him racist during the debate, which shows you how fake she is.
Oh!
And the only thing that we can stand on from a policy perspective is whether or not she's black and she's a woman. We did that during the Obama administration, and he didn't do anything for black people. As a matter of fact, y'all complain because the only person that he did, or the only group of people that he really stood for is the alphabet community, and that's his landmark thing that he's still standing on today.
Oh, the alphabet community, where all the brothers go. Is that what you're saying? That's where all the strong, straight, independent black men. Yeah, that's the most important stuff that we look at, right? That's right. We support that. No. That's the thing. That's why they're losing Latinos and they're losing black men. It's not that we hate these groups or any of that stuff. It's no place for us. It ain't our thing. We're going, you know what? That's cool and all. Y'all can go ahead and celebrate that. But when you elevate that and make it one of your biggest priorities, where do I fit into that? Huh? And then if I start, being too macho, all of a sudden you're telling me you need to tone it down a bit. You have too much toxic masculinity. Yeah, you need to sit second fiddle. Take the back seat to the women. Do this. Don't lead. Don't even, you need to sit down and ask the women, what do I do? That's how I feel. I feel like the Democrat Party is like a church, unfortunately, that is led by all women. And the men just sit around and, you want me to do the offer? I collect the money? Okay. And they're just running the whole church. It's not that women can't be leaders, but not at the expense of aggressively castrating men. And so now if I'm a strong, independent man, I'm thinking, why would I want to be in that party? When I hear all of the stuff they prioritize and talk about does not have anything to do with me. And then they're not even starting to direct the way, you know what, maybe we should include y'all and show y'all how you fit in there. We do need strong men. We do need men that aren't afraid to, display their testosterone and use it for a good purpose, not to smack wives around, none of that. I'm talking about there's a place for men in the world, and they spend so much time trying to cut out that place. And yet they wonder why they're losing black men, Latino men, and things like that. And this guy is digging into him bad right now. I'm gonna have to do a standalone on this guy alone.
So the only thing that we have to stand on is identity politics. That shit didn't work with Tiffany Henyard in Dayton, Illinois. It didn't work with Karen Bass. It didn't work with Lori Lightfoot in Chicago. It didn't work with Brandon Johnson that then took over her position in Chicago. It didn't work with Andre Dickens in Atlanta. It didn't work with Eric Adams in New York. It doesn't work across the country. Every single Democratic city is a hellhole. Are we sitting here talking about identity politics?
Put that in your pipe and smoke it all. That's right. She's like a kid who was caught smoking a cigarette. And the parent said, you want to smoke it? I'm going to make you inhale all of this smoke. Don't take it out. Don't take it out. Keep breathing. I'm joking. You want the smoke? Here it is. Take it all. He just gave her all the smoke. She's straight up. I'll be honest, because she's black. Oh. So you want to smoke the she's black cigarette, huh? Put it back in your mouth. Here it is, smoke it. So he gave her an earful. Now, I do not know the outcome of that verbal lashing, that class that he gave her, that educational class that he gave her right there. I don't know the outcome, but I cannot believe that she would walk away and say, so I'm still going to vote for her because she's black. I mean, she would have to have gone, first of all, I sound so uninformed and ignorant. That's the first thing she should recognize, that I feel bad because I'm like, I didn't know none of this. And this guy is showing me substance. I hope she fell in love with him. I mean, you would think after hearing that, she should be going, oh my, look, this brother is smart. I ain't dealing with no dodo bird. what you doing later? You want to go out for a drink and you can finish telling me about this? That's what she should be doing. Hopefully she ain't going to find no dude that's right. I'm going to vote for her because she's a black woman. Could you go ahead and braid my hair in a man bun, please? And no, hopefully she's not looking for one of those. So God bless y'all. God bless America. We're living in 1984. They're trying to take us back, but I ain't going back. I ain't going back, y'all. Even though the news are using 1984, of course, the reference being of the book, tactics to try to get her across the finish line. And she's so trashy. She's so horrible as a candidate, and her personality sucks. She's fake. She's not authentic. They have to do all kind of stuff to get her to be somewhat likable. Do you understand the plastic surgery that's going to be required to make her look good? There's that point where you are just done. Accept the fact that you're a bag of bones. Okay? There's no lipo that can help out with that. No collagen. No nose injections, no lip injections, no veneers, no more stretching of the skin. You're beyond plastic surgery. It would take too much to make you look good again. And they're doing everything they can to do that for her. But I see her for what she really is. Ugly. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight on this Friday. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. I probably will be uploading a couple standalones over the weekend, so please keep your notifications on and check. Make sure you're still subscribed and your notifications are still set to all. And if you want, check out Kevin's Corner Store. Grab a couple items. And also, if you want to support the channel through my Cash App, PayPal, you can do that. And subscribe to my alternative channels. Other than that, I'm about to get ready to go out to salsa dance, y'all. That's right. I'm like, Juan Donameda, Joaquina Juan Donameda, yeah, Juan Donameda, jamming. So we'll see y'all Monday. God bless. Cue music, cue music. Gizmo down there looking up at me like, you ain't gonna pick me up? Nah. This is all city. Yeah. Take care.